Yes, occasionally, I mean, you're bound to, I think. Occasionally it does happen, and occasionally you think, I'd rather be anywhere but here. Just, for God's sake, get me out of here. But there is a great virtue, in a way, in having no choice. And even if, I mean, people have this idea that artists, are inspired, and, you rush at the canvas or you rush at the paper and you work like a demon, and then some other days you're not inspired, so you toss aside your paintbrushes and go to the pub instead. Well, for me anyway, it's not like that. I simply work from dawn till dusk every day when I'm out in the wilderness, whether I feel like it or not. And much of the time, of course, you don't feel like it. I mean, the sun's beating down on you, the wind's howling, that you're getting your eye full of sand, you're getting bitten to death by bugs, it's raining. I mean, it's very, very uncomfortable out there. And the last thing you want to do is sit there for 12 hours a day. But on the other hand, you have committed yourself to something. This is what the work is about. This is my inspiration. And fortunately, there are sufficient kind of high times where you suddenly think, wow, I've really got that right, or wow, this is just the greatest place to be. The lucky thing for me is that I have a group of stalwart companions who come with me. Sometimes there are half a dozen of them, sometimes there's only one, and sometimes I'm on my own. And there was a time in Bolivia, for example, when I was painting a mountain called Sajama, we were up at about 16,000 feet, and I was doing this 5-foot painting of this mountain. And I'd had this drawing board pegged out, the wind was howling, it was freezing cold, and I'd stuck it out for about a 12-hour day, and at the end of it I realized, or at least about 20 minutes before the end of the day, I realized that nothing that I'd done that day was worth having. And I took an eraser and rubbed out all the wrong stuff, and I ended up with 3 lines. And that was 12 hours work in this terrible place. And at times like that, you do need your friends who say, don't worry, Tony, you'll get it right, it'll sort itself out. And I never believe them when they say that, but in fact, they usually prove to be right, because, next day you go back and start again, and eventually you get what you want, and then at the end of that you go, yes, I really got it right. And so luckily the joys outweigh the down times, but it's not easy.